Absolutely fantastic to be here. And before I begin, can I just say it's a real honour for Adelaide and South Australia to be co-hosting this very important summit. Ministerial and parliamentary colleagues, delegates, guests, and our distinguished and wonderful MC, Natasha Stop-Despoyer. I acknowledge that we are meeting today on the traditional lands of the Kaurna people, and I pay my respects to their spiritual relationship with their country, and in particular to their elders past and present. Yesterday, my ministerial colleagues, Deputy Premier Vicky Chapman and Human Services Minister Michelle Lensing addressed you. I'm not 100% sure what Vicky said, but a lot of people have been giggling at me today, so I'm going to follow this up when we meet tomorrow morning. Anyway, it's an honour to be here, as I said, an honour and a privilege and a pleasure to be with you on this second day of this critical summit to participate in discussions about what more needs to be done to combat domestic and family violence, and in particular, sexual assault. I think we can all agree that it is absolutely crucial that we reduce the prevalence of violence against women and children in Australia. But we need to do more than that. We must end all violence and forms of violence against women and children. COAG has ensured that this remains a priority for every government in this nation, and I know that I'm not the only member of COAG who is waiting to see the statement which comes out of this meeting, which completes the consultation informing the development of the 4th Action Plan. I'm sure the outcome of this summit will be extremely valuable given the understanding, knowledge, experience and advocacy and passion of the people who are in this room today. Earlier this year, I took to the South Australian election on behalf of my party a range of commitments focused on reducing domestic and family violence. It is of course pleasing now to be in a position to deliver on those commitments. Importantly, this has included holding a number of roundtables in our first 6 months to test our policies to ensure that they will provide the desired outcomes that we seek. This increases confidence that we have a strong policy framework to guide and drive our actions. Our framework has a number of priorities: to prevent violence against women and children, to ensure our responses and actions are connected and accessible to all South Australians, to take into account and reflect the diversity of our community, and to support women to recover so that they can continue to participate in the community economically, socially and politically. Led by Minister Lensing and the Office for Women, this framework also establishes the role of all community members in ending violence against women. As Attorney General, Vicky Chapman has already delivered our Domestic Violence Disclosure Scheme and will be introducing legislation to make our laws relating to violence against women even stronger in this state. The work of Vicky and Michelle is being more than ably supported by Carolyn Power as Assistant Minister dedicated to the prevention of domestic and family violence. This is the first time our state has had such a position in government. But of course, not everything which needs to happen can be achieved by legislators and governments, or even by dedicated workers and advocates like yourselves here in this room today. To truly end violence against women and their children in our nation, we need to make sure that every single member of our community is empowered to say no to violence by also saying no to sexism. We know that gender inequality and all that goes with it can breed violence. We know that those in society who regard women as inferior play a part in excusing and allowing this violence. So I want to talk to you today about just some of the additional things that we as a community can do. And I want to do this by focusing on men. The agenda to address violence against women has been led, pioneered if you will, by women. But this is not just an issue for women. Inequality and violence impact primarily on women, but it is not up to women alone to fix this problem. Men must play a significant role as well. While progress is being made in all sorts of spheres and organisations in the community and the workplace, men continue to hold more of the senior positions. Accordingly, men tend to have a more powerful platform on which to speak. I am working to change this in my team with the important responsibilities that I've given to Vicky and to Michelle and to Carolyn and to other members of my team. I'm also more than happy to share with you the fact that I'm very close to my mother and my sisters and my daughter Georgie. And while I'm now the Premier, I remain more than comfortable with seeking their wise counsel and being influenced by them, whether I like it or not. I cherish their voice and I seek their wisdom. All in their own way inspire me and make my world a much better place. It will therefore not surprise you that in politics, I believe that my party must do more to encourage more women to take up roles in Parliament and also in public life, and to support the advancement of those women who do get elected, so that some of them attain the positions with the most influence and power in our party. At the same time, we need to ensure that men use the platforms that they have responsibly, and that in doing so, they understand the gendered nature of violence. What it is like for women having to live in fear in the very place where they should feel safe, in the home. But domestic violence is also a serious issue in our workplace. I cannot imagine what it is like to have to hold down a job when nightly you're living with domestic and family violence. I believe that there are some particular things that all men can do to cultivate change. As I've already mentioned, we need male leaders to step up in terms of women's participation and leadership. In particular, this is about ensuring that business understands the benefits and the power of a diverse workplace, about recognising that women bring a wealth of skills and experience to the table, about making space for women to have a voice. Increasing the number of women in senior and leadership roles creates a better world for all of us. Not least, it demonstrates that women have just as much to offer the business and the corporate world as men do. Ensuring that women have economic independence is vital if we are to achieve gender equality. Childcare, flexible work and improvements to superannuation are all areas in which gains for the economic status of women can be made. While the workplace is a key to enhancing women's leadership and economic participation, this also benefits the entire workforce, men as well as women, because we know that organisations with greater diversity perform better than those with less. Accordingly, it is my government's intention to develop a strategy to support women's leadership and participation in the workplace. This will include active engagement right across South Australian businesses. We want to talk to them about issues such as flexible work options, support for women returning to work after they've taken time off to care for children, as well as support for carers, to encourage fathers to take up more flexible work schedules, educating management teams on the principles and benefits of achieving greater workforce diversity, and mentoring and networking schemes that encourage and train women in career development strategies within a supportive environment. Delegates, let me be clear, these are not just the right things to do, they are the smart things to do. And it is a powerful way of demonstrating a respect and willingness to learn from women. It's about improving the status of women and also about making our culture far more inclusive. Of course, as well as wanting to encourage all businesses to recognise the benefits of enhancing leadership opportunities and economic participation for women, the state government, as South Australia's largest single employer, must do more for its own workforce. That is why, within the state public sector, a project is being developed to strengthen workplace gender equality and to promote safe and respectful workplaces for all employees. Importantly, this Workplace Equality and Respect project, led by the Equal Opportunity Commissioner, will ensure our departments become re-accredited as white ribbon workplaces. The project will aim to ensure that participating public sector agencies are equipped with the tools, knowledge and capacity to apply best practice approaches to workplace gender equality and respect. I'll have a strong focus on building accountability through alignment with external standards and independently identified benchmarks. The project will build on the substantial work already undertaken across the state public sector, which has resulted in 20 agencies achieving White Ribbon Australia Workplace accreditation. I'm 100% proud to head a government which is seeking to lead by example, to encourage the cultural change that is necessary to end violence against women and their children. I've referred to how cultural change in the workplace can help us all, men as well as women. in the fight against the scourge of domestic and family violence. And in this respect, I mean all men, not just those who have leadership roles in organisations. What can all men do? To me, the answer is very simple. Every single one of us can commit to saying no to sexism. As Kelly O'Dwyer said yesterday, saying no to disrespecting women. Every single one of us must call out sexist comments when we hear them. Every single one of us can make a personal commitment to a fair and equitable world. The White Ribbon Agenda has helped men to understand their role in addressing violence. It is not only how we respond to the violence which is occurring. It's about prevention, intervening before violence is allowed to happen. It's about changing attitudes so that we can no longer excuse violence or leave women to fix the problem. It's about taking responsibility for our actions and the actions of those around us. In the end, it comes down to that simple but significant word, respect. As men, we must commit to role modelling respectful behaviours and attitudes. This is the only way that we will achieve lasting cultural change. The only way that we will end violence against women once and for all. I want to again thank each and every one of you for your participation at this vitally important summit. I'm confident that the fourth action plan will crystallise and drive our efforts into the future. I really look forward to attending my first COAG and participating around that table and working for those 2 days to make sure that this very critical issue remains on our agenda. Again, thank you very much to each and every one of you who have made the effort to come to Adelaide. We feel honoured that you have held this summit here in our state, and I look forward to participating through to morning tea. Thank you very much.